Gaming, man, what the fuck happened? Gaming is like that one guy who was rich in college and after 10 years, he's homeless, and pants. And you sit down and ponder, where did it all go wrong? Yeah, that's how I feel about gaming. But it wasn't always like this. Back in the day, gaming used to be untouchable in terms of niche internet activities. So how did it go from lame to mainstream to mid? Well, in today's episode of Washed Up and Fallen Off YouTuber, I will be giving you a timeline of the rise and fall of gaming. A timeline that tells you the exact moments when gaming was peak and when gaming became boring. And the timeline starts in 2014, when Five Nights at Freddy's was released. 10 damn years! 10 damn years! This timeline goes back to from 2014 all the way to right now. Five Nights at Freddy's was released on August 8th, 2014. Of course, the big three of YouTube would play it along with its sequels. The next year, all three of them would play Yandere Simulator, and only a few months later, Undertale. Because of the massive audience these guys had, the pressure was on for these games to innovate. So, they all got to innovating. And while FNAF was innovating the point-and-click horror genre, Undertale was innovating to how to amass the worst fanbase of all time, and Yandere Simulator was innovating shit code and panty shots. If you can tell, Yandere Simulator was shit from the beginning and never even got finished, which is funny to me. When you have a game that took up 75% of MatPat's channel, spawned an endless supply of fan games, got a movie, and is planning to get another one by next year, another game that is a 10 out of 10 with a 10 out of 10 sequel, and in my opinion, should get an animated movie by at least 2030, and then we have this. And it's just like, who invited this now? Also, if I'm not mistaken, the reason why this game performed so badly was because it was coded like this. Which is funny because Undertale was made on a program used in school and it still was coded better than this dog shit. There is a reason why people regard this as the best year of gaming. Titanfall 2, Heat, Infinite Warfare, some Heat, Battlefield 1, even more Heat, Overwatch 1, even more Heat coming. Hey, I personally think Titanfall being the least popular of these four is a crime against humanity. Infinite Warfare getting the amount of hate that it did was really dumb. Granted, the past two CODs at this time were jetpacks, so people got sick of them. That doesn't fit with my agenda, so shut up. And next, I swear, if Overwatch didn't release in the same year, or better yet, just didn't exist, Battlefield 1 would have won Game of the Year. This game looked like this. It was basically perfect in every way, except for competitive, which is why Overwatch won Game of the Year. And don't get me wrong, I loved this game when it came out. An FPS game with multiple different characters? What's not to love? Well, that right there was the problem, the characters. But I'm not going to get into that in this video. Also, around this time, CSGO gambling became really popular. I say gambling because in 2016, if you told me you played CSGO and didn't gamble, I would be calling you crazy. That's how popular CSGO gambling was. Almost every game had some sort of loot box. But because these games were targeted at, well, children, a lot of companies in Europe banned loot boxes. This was gaming's first time in mainstream, and it was clearly not good. Oh yeah, I forgot about Pokemon Go as well. This right here, this was the era of peak gaming, and nobody can argue it. To start, the Switch. This thing had one of the best console launches of all time. First, Breath of the Wild, which pretty much like the start of all open world games in the modern era. Next was Mario Odyssey, one of the best Mario games. I haven't actually played it. As a matter of fact, a lot of the games I'm going to talk about in this section of the video, I haven't actually played. But this was around the time I started getting really into YouTube, so I pretty much know them firsthand. Like I said, the Switch had one of the best console launches ever. But this ain't even the best of 2017. Hollow Knight released in this exact same year and was rated pretty much a 10 out of 10, so it should get a sequel, right? Right? Yeah, Silksong ain't coming out, bruh. It's just a burning memory. But Hollow Knight wasn't the only indie game released in 2017. A Hat in Time, Cuphead, and Rivals of Aether would all come out in the same year. But then, it happened. On September 26th, 6 days after my birthday, Fortnite Battle Royale would release. And well, this was the start of the end. See, Fortnite had a lot of things at the time that we didn't know would become mainstays. First off, it dropped right in the middle of the Battle Royale craze, when games like PUBG and H1Z1 were considered good. And anyone would play any game if there was a Battle Royale. One problem, a lot of these games were horrible and had server issues because they were so many people. But they were still popular because they were Battle Royales. Meaning, if someone could make a Battle Royale and finish it, everyone would play it. Next was the monetization. This monetization includes the skin shop that changes every day and the battle pass that you can pay or play to unlock that changes pretty much every 3 months. Now, of course, we got nothing of this back then, but these tactics were only the start of gaming's downfall. Because while we saw something that would help us fuel our addictions, companies saw dollar signs, and they saw a lot of them. 2018 had a lot of bangers. To start early in the year, the game Celeste dropped, sporting one of the best OSTs ever made.
Let's be honest, I never cried to music. I would never cry to a song, let's be honest. I am a...
Later in that same year, Subnautica would release, giving everyone who played it Thalassophobia. And Undertale's sequel, Deltarune, was released. But this is about the fallout of Fortnite, so let's talk about that instead. Fortnite at this time was way more popular than it was in 2017. Remember when Ninja was playing with Drake? Yeah, the same guy who said this in the same year.
School pics, you was even bad then. High school pics, you was even bad then.
Yeah, that Drake. How you feel about Drake doesn't really matter because this isn't about Drake's public execution. This is about how popular Fortnite was. When you have one of the most popular artists playing your game, you know you're at the top. And Season 4 was peak in my opinion. This was back when Infinity War came out, so they gave you an Infinity Gauntlet item that turned you into Thanos.
Infinity.
And at the end of 2018, Smash Ultimate came out. It was good. These two games were responsible for making some of my favorite content creators and 2 of my favorite YouTubers. In fact, a lot of the games released from 2014 to 2018 were the reason I was able to find some of my favorite YouTubers. But if there's one thing this video is going to teach you, it's that all good things will come to an end. You know this year was bad when the only indie game I remember was the Untitled Goose Game. Anyway, remember Fortnite's monetization? Yeah, well this is the year every AAA dev started to copy the Fortnite formula. Before, this started with Apex, which is just a wannabe Titanfall with a battle royale. Then, what cemented the Fortnite formula was when Call of Duty scrapped the entire Prestige system for it. At least we got the Untitled Goose Game from it. There's a reason why I call everything after 2019 Diamond in the Rough. Because only like 2 games ever get popular. Granted, those games get very popular, but it's only just like 2. The rest either fall into obscurity or are played by those TikTok bot accounts that try to squeeze every microcomb of content. There's really nothing to talk about except for Among Us, Lethal Company, and Helldivers 2. But I don't play multiplayer games because of Valorant. In conclusion, gaming has been going through bad releases, unfinished games, and the Fortnite formula being copied everywhere. Because of these factors, gaming has been slowly yet surely going downhill. But it doesn't have to be like this. We can change this. If I can get 1,000 subs by the time Sparking Zero releases, I will host a tournament series. Every weekend there will be a tournament with a prize pool getting bigger based on the amount of contestants. These will have to be hosted on weekends because of school, but whenever there's a holiday break, there will be tournaments happening every day. From October 12th to December 25th, every weekend and every break day, I will host a Sparking Zero tournament. All I ask for is 1,000 subs and for you to join my Discord in the description.